Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Today with a video that I've really wanted to make since we obviously lost 2-0 to Wolves at Vicarage Road. And basically the video is about, how crucial these next two Premier League games are for Watford. Arguably for me, 4 games into the season, the two most important games of the season at all. Like, no game will top the importance of these two. And I think the reason for that for me is just because Xisco is already under so much pressure from the fan base. We don't know what Gino, Scott Duxbury, we don't know what the owners of the club are thinking, but I'm sure they are considering his future. Now, I don't agree with it. I think that Xisco, to be honest, even if we got relegated, should be given the opportunity, because I think at Watford we need continuity. I think we need continuity with players, with managers, and they need the backing of the ownership, because sacking managers repeatedly at the first sign of distress, if you will. We had a good start to the season against Aston Villa, good performance by the players. Ultimately, we did win the game 3-2. And then we've had 3 performances where, we've lost the games and they've been poor performances. But if you actually look at each game, I think for me, Tottenham was a good performance. Overall, I would say, we didn't really create a lot of chances, but the actual goal really came from a Daniel Bachmann error. So take that out of the equation, we draw that game. Brighton, again, individual mistakes. William Schuster come with a bad pass for that first goal. So individual mistakes. For me, individual mistakes are more causing our current run of form rather than actual tactical decisions. And I think that's the key for me. Now, obviously, Norwich and Newcastle, I tweeted it out on my personal Twitter account, at BatchyJ. Give it a follow if you haven't already. We played Wolves, and I don't think Wolves will be near us come the end of the season. So actually forget about Wolves, because I think, they could finish top half quite easily. So forget about Wolves. Norwich will definitely be near us, and actually I think Norwich have a worse squad than us. And I think Newcastle, if they get a couple of injuries, Callum Wilson's injured already. If they get a couple of injuries, if Joe Willock gets injured, another key player gets injured, their squad is crap. So, these are 2 teams coming up now where come the end of the season, they will be in and around us. And I've said repeatedly throughout pre-season and throughout the season so far, if Watford finish 17th or above, I'm happy. So you can't go sacking Xisco after 3 or 4 games of poor results. You can't do that. You've got to give him until at least October, reassess. But even then, I wouldn't make a change. But here's the problem. Now I've got my phone in front of me here. I've got the Watford fixtures coming up in front of me. They're not too bad. As I said, we've got Norwich and Newcastle next in the Premier League, then Leeds, then Liverpool, Everton, Southampton. I'd expect us to pick up a few points here and there in that run, especially against Norwich and Newcastle. However, the key bit for me is after that. Now, the strength of the Premier League this season is quite honestly the best I've ever seen in terms of quality of player and quality of manager. Rafa Benitez coming back to Everton has to strengthen them, in my opinion. And obviously at the big clubs, you got Ronaldo there, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane. Manchester United are stacked. Man City are stacked as usual. Chelsea have got Lukaku, Saul Niguez. So, all these big clubs that had fantastic players already are just absolutely insane. So looking at our fixtures in November, we've got Arsenal on the 6th of November. Now, obviously, they're not doing great at the moment, but they do have better players than us. Then we've got Manchester United. So we've got Arsenal, then Manchester United. Then we got Leicester, right? And then you might think, oh, James, it'll get easier. No. Then we got Chelsea. And then you might be thinking, oh, James, surely it gets easier after that. Well, no, because after Chelsea, we then have Manchester City. So basically, if we're not going to be picking up points in the Premier League now, come the middle of October, start of November, we're playing basically every single big team. Now, I can't see us picking up points against any of them, which is frustrating, but that's why it makes these next 2 games all the more important. Norwich, we should really be beating. I think their squad is atrocious, And actually, our squad is definitely better than Norwich's. I think there's no doubt about that. Newcastle will be trickier. I mean, they did give Manchester United a good game. I think it was on Saturday, wasn't it? So when we played Wolves, Newcastle played Man United. I watched that game back, obviously, because it was Ronaldo's debut. And Norwich seemed to play quite well, even without Callum Wilson. So Norwich, we have to win. If we don't win Norwich, I can't see where really the other points are going to come from, because even Brentford have started the season a lot better than us. Now, they might not have too many points above us, but the style of play that Brentford have got compared to us is just, they're far superior. So, Xisco, of course, Xisco is to blame for some of this. However, as I said earlier, a lot of the performances and a lot of the results have come from individual errors, players not making the right decisions. Now, some of you might argue, well, some of that's tactical, James. Xisco's got to tell the players what to do. But Xisco can't control if a player misplaces a pass. He can't control if Daniel Batman has a crap game. So it's a difficult one. I think for me, I know a lot of people want Xisco gone if we lose Norwich, which I can see potentially happening. I don't think it will. I'm going to give Xisco until at least like the middle of November, just because basically I'm not ruthless. Like, I could not be a football club owner. I'm not ruthless enough to go around sacking people. But you see what Norwich have done with Daniel Farker. I think I pronounced his name correctly. They get relegated, they get promoted. They're a bit of a yo-yo club. But they stick with him. So regardless of what happens in the season, they stick with their manager. Whereas at Watford, 3 crap games and fans are calling for your head already. So what I would say is everybody needs to chill out a little bit. Just calm down. The Premier League is difficult. It's a lot harder than the Championship. In the Championship, we were winning nearly every game, whereas in the Premier League, it's hard to even get a draw sometimes. So I think we've got to rejig our expectations for the season. As I said, if we finish 17th via goal difference, I could not care less. As long as we stay up, that's the goal. If we're in and around, 17th, 16th, 15th, if we're in and around the area throughout the season, that's good for me. And then next season, if we stay up, then we can reinvest some more money into the squad, recruit better players, maybe recruit a better manager, who knows. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how these next 2 games pan out. You've got the Carabao Cup against Stoke coming up as well before the Newcastle games. You've got Norwich this Saturday, then Stoke, then Newcastle. So them 3 games, if we can win all 3, that would be such a morale boost. But if we end up losing all 3, I think fans will really start to panic, including me. But as I said, I really want to give Xisco a chance in this job. We've taken a calculated risk with Xisco. We have to stick by him. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the current situation on the upcoming fixtures. Let me know your thoughts on Xisco, the fixtures and the squad in the comment section below. And we'll be back very, very soon on Thursday evening with a live match preview for Norwich City away. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in another stream or video very, very soon. Bye-bye.